For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At InfoWars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com and to help others during Christmas by teaching them about the powerful benefits of silver. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor just won't quit.
When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. Every year we make resolutions to lose weight and get in shape. And the truth is, it's hard, even with diet and exercise, because of toxic food in our environment that is stressing our bodies more than ever before. Working with experts in nutrition and biochemistry, I found that super high-quality nutraceuticals, in addition to my diet and exercise, were the answers that synergistically worked. I could see the drastic changes every day with the amount of weight I've lost, my increased stamina, and more of a twinkle in my eye. That's why we are now so excited to launch the InfoWars Life Resolution Pack, combining 3 essential formulations: oxygen-based cleanser Oxy Powder, the Secret 12 bioavailable vitamin B12, and your choice of super female or super male vitality. Now all available at a discounted price to you and your family to bring in the new year and make 2015 a true success. That's InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. 2015 is the year to do it, and it all starts at InfoWarsLife.com.
Rallying patriots worldwide in defense of human liberty. It's Alex Jones.
Well, it's sensational news, and I withheld judgment on it till a clear picture developed, and it follows the classic profile. Imagine the West turned Afghanistan over to al-Qaeda and the Taliban starting in the 1980s and gave them tens of billions of dollars of funding, training, and weapons. Then they were allowed to operate in and out of Saudi Arabia on terror arrest list and were still allowed to fly to the U.S. And when the head of the U.S. Embassy Visa Department, Springman, who I've had on the show many times, we should get him back on the show, refused to give them the visa when ordered to by the head of the embassy, the CIA came and said, don't worry, national security, these men work for us. One of those 5 men was Mohammed Atta. You may have heard the name. This was even in the Washington Post and Toronto Star. That's how I called up and got Springman on the show. Because he started blowing the whistle. Now, fast forward to Anwar al-Awlaki 1 week before 9/11, and then again 2 years later, caught meeting at the Pentagon and other events, including luncheons with the Carlyle Group and the bin Laden family that Bush Sr. was attending. This guy's a high roller. His name's Anwar al-Awlaki. You may have heard that name. He's the head of al-Qaeda after they supposedly killed bin Laden. He was in contact for not 1 but 2 years with Major Hassan at Fort Hood, the psychiatrist, who then went and killed 14 people and injured 20 plus more. I think it was 25 more. And they declared national security when Congress wanted those emails. So I'm going to say this again. Major Hassan, handled by al-Awlaki. The 2 brothers in the terrorist attacks, handled by al-Awlaki. The underwear bomber, handled by al-Awlaki. And now we know the brothers, the girl, all of them on no-fly list. Not just terror watch list, no-fly list. Allowed to fly all over the world. And the bimbo girlfriend, because that's the hot thing to do. They just arrested women in Australia trying to join the jihad. The hot thing to do is to go join these guys, put a burqa on, get sexually mutilated, and roll with the MAC-G homies. Because you mix all the hip-hop gangster rap in, it's the total cool thing to do. Haven't you heard? Why, we get threatened constantly on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube by the gaggles of snot-nosed teenagers that think this is really, you know, something that'll upset mom and dad to talk about jihad. What it'll do is get your butt locked up in a federal prison for the rest of your stupid lives. And if you were ever dumb enough to try something with us, it'll get your butt shot off if you come around here. But I'm here to tell you, this is a real thing getting promoted, and the social networks are allowing it. That's even been in mainstream news. Why on earth do they let them call for violence and recruit? And despite all the spy grids, France is even worse than the U.S. on record with its spying. NSA stuff doubled, squared. They are surveilling everything, and meanwhile, the terrorists have Facebooks bragging that they're in Yemen training for a jihad, and they're not picked up off the street. Well, of course they weren't. The underwear bomber, Mutallab, 1 week before they announced naked body scanners going in all the major airports that they put an order in for 14 months before, a year before. The government ordered thousands of the machines a year before. The first delivery was set to roll out in January, and then there's a underwear bombing. And the former head of Homeland Security is getting tens of millions of dollars himself, the company billions for the machines. Gee, that's not a conflict of interest. And then there's this lawyer. He contacts us. Look at me, I'm on the plane. I'm a listener. Me and my wife are lawyers. A smart-dressed man got him on. Sharp-dressed man. We should come back next segment with sharp-dressed man. ZZ Top got him on, argued with the head people, didn't have any ID, got him on the plane. Then the underwear bomber, as they're getting ready to land, coming in, starting to descend, a guy gets up 4 rows behind us and gets on a knee and starts filming professionally where Mutallab is. Mutallab then gets up, stands in the aisle, and a firecracker goes off in his pants. Then, months later, after we break it, at Infowars.com, just pointing out, we don't play games here. We tell you we got a source. We tell you got intel. We tell you there's missing nukes from Daesh. You can guarantee that was reported to us from high level on the base. We don't make stuff up. You understand that? Every once in a while we make a mistake, we tell you about it. We wish this wasn't true. I wish there was no terrorism, but let me tell you, I wish it was real. That's a lot less scary. To have some stupid 20-year-old punk with a little firecracker in his pants being an idiot, I'd laugh at that. Let me tell you, it's darn scary. Our government drugged him up and brought him on there. Turned out the unnamed agency was a Central Intelligence Agency. We're going to play those clips from Congress in a moment. So, Anwar al-Awlaki is behind Fort Hood, the underwear bombing, attacks on U.S. military bases all over the place, what just happened in Paris, and a bunch of other events, and he's the secret dinner guest at the Pentagon, and high-rolling around with the bin Ladens at Bush events for Carlyle shareholders. London Guardian reported that the bin Ladens were, quote, at Bush's table. And let me tell you, it's a great plan. The U.S. is allied with Saudi Arabia. That is, the criminals that run our country are. Bipartisan. Saudi Arabia is to take over the whole Middle East using their jihadis. A few of their low levels that don't know what they're doing are allowed and directed in to attack the West in controlled operations. The local cops don't know. The local cops find out and write a report about it. You just shoot them twice in the head at their desk. That just happened. Another little key sign. We're going to be getting into that report. The 3 cops are real that died. The other 16, 17 people that were killed, that was real. The 2 brothers and their accomplice, those are real jihadis. Too stupid, just like the general public, to understand the compartmentalization and how they were controlled through criminal networks up to the private banks that issue the currency that have hijacked all our countries and are running us into the ground and who are building a police state that is for in the fetters, returning veterans, gun owners, libertarians, pro-lifers, you name it. If you got your head screwed on straight, don't have a criminal record, work hard, know how to use a gun, are civically involved, the ADL, the Southern Poverty Law Center, the Democratic Party, the federal government spends its nights up late scared because you still have access to juries and grand juries. You can still vote. You got power. You're good guys. And who are the scumbags scared of? They're scared of the good guys. And you look at all the real training. It's for the good guys, ladies and gentlemen. You can see how this works. And I couldn't believe it when WorldNet Daily 6-7 years ago was connecting stuff with the Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda to Obama. I thought, no, he's not independently running Al-Qaeda. And now it turns out Obama and his family in Kenya, at least the family he's connected to, his half-brothers and cousins, run the radical Muslims publicly and run the Muslim Brotherhood. I mean, I remember seeing Anderson Cooper, who's CIA, on CNN a few years ago when they were overthrowing Egypt and putting the Muslim Brotherhood in, and Al-Qaeda was attacking the military and trying to blow up dams in the Suez Canal, and Cooper was saying they're freedom fighters. I mean, I can't even believe this at this point. I mean, CNN is saying Al-Qaeda are freedom fighters, just like they said in Syria and Libya they're freedom fighters. And this is where these guys came from, and this is where the woman, this French bimbo that was into these guys, because some women think that aggressive terrorists and scum, Stockholm Syndrome, you know, that's real manly. Hayat Boumediene, how do you say this idiot's name? Boumediene, the partner of the Islamist gunman. AFP reporting that. She's now run into Syria through Turkey. Gee, who do you think let her on an airplane? Who do you think she gets into Turkey? She's all over the news, and now she's gotten away. Of course. She's probably the controller of them. In fact, I predict that's going to come out. Just like I said 7-7 was being handled by a SWAT because he's the known controller in MI6. It even came out, the FBI even admitted that on Fox News. That, yes, there was a double agent. He betrayed us and ran the bombing. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He was allowed to get away. Then allowed to return to England. Staged. And the argument is, well, we infiltrate these groups to stop them. No, you don't. You infiltrate them to lead them against us. And I'll say this. You know the drill. Anybody can look it up in the World Almanac or just 200-something people killed a year in the U.S. by honeybees, 300-something by yellow jackets, 300-something by red wasp, 40-something by pit bulls, another 100 or so by other dog attacks. This stuff's still real rare, but a couple dozen a year get killed by terrorism. So even if this was real and they were really killing everybody, do you give up your liberties and your freedoms because 20 people get killed in France and there's worldwide marches and, oh, we need a police state now. Extremist threat pits law enforcement against civil rights, as if giving up liberty equals security. Well, Benjamin Franklin told us those that give up liberty for so-called security deserve and will get neither. That's the road to serfdom, the road to bondage, the road to shackles, the road to slavery. I mean, come on. Eisenhower, in a famous speech, paraphrased, said the only way to keep you totally safe is to lock you up in a prison. That was at Columbia University. Pull up Eisenhower speech on I can make you completely safe by putting you in a jail cell. I think that'll pull up the actual speech. That's how this works. Well, you know what? No, thank you. My communications are mine. And again,